Welcome back everybody to another installment of Fighting Everybody in the Strongest Battlegrounds, the series in which I fight YouTubers, well-known players, and skilled players that are YouTubers. Due to the positive feedback the first episode received, I've now decided to keep the series going. Last time, I fought the #1 player regarding kills in TSB, Jack Nikeenflees. In that fight I learned that pain can be a horrible thing. Today is a new day though, and a new day brings a new opponent. Today's opponent will be the #1 player in Europe and one of the best players known to the public, Materia. Before we fight Materia though, it is wise to do research on him, especially since he's considered one of the best. Materia, who is one of the more respected players of the Strongest Battlegrounds, is also a relatively known YouTuber with around 13,000 subscribers. When it comes to what Materia is known for, he's recognized by many for his superb skill in TSB, often being hailed as the best player by a lot of people like the Holy Grail, Alpha 1, and even Lord Heaven. If this isn't enough to back up the fact that he's good, then I don't know what to tell you. Now that we have some idea of who Materia is, let's look at his skill in combat and analyze what actually makes him so good. While watching Materia's footage, I realized that there's one thing that puts him a cut above the rest, and that's how he uses movement to his advantage. When he moves, he has a switch where he either uses his movement aggressively or defensively, so let's break them both down starting with his aggressive mode. When using his movement to be more aggressive, Materia often likes to close the distance with his opponent, keeping the fight uncomfortably close to him. He does this by hovering just shy around the effective side dash area as seen in his fight with Holy Grail. By doing this, he increases the chances at which he can quickly snap a side dash and pull off his combo. He also uses other little things like the direction of which he's facing to bait his opponent, granting him an even bigger opening window to launch himself around his enemy. It's also wise to consider that Materia wastes no time or moves when on the aggressive, and he likes to instantly pounce onto an opening once he deems it possible. When switching to his defensive mode, Materia uses the same strategy as before, hovering unusually far, but close enough to his opponent's side dash range. This time though, he sags off more and instead uses his movement in a more calm manner, essentially mirroring his opponent and adapting to their playstyle. When he becomes a mirror, he catches people off guard due to the unusual nature at which he changes his fighting tempo. He'll also use other unexpected tactics to defend himself instead of normally blocking, like looking away from his opponent or even jogging nervously close and around an enemy. This sometimes ends up working against him though. In a nutshell, Materia basically uses the element of surprise to outsmart his opponents. It's also worth mentioning that his heightened game sense and knowledge of the Strongest Battlegrounds grants Materia a huge edge in the heat of battle. So now, putting together everything we know about Materia, we know he is undoubtedly one of the best players in the world, placing him at the master skill level. We also know that Materia also uses movement as a tool to catch his enemies off guard, either aggressively or defensively if we had to assign him a play style. Materia has also informed me that he is on European servers, but he had no problem with that for this video. With the background check and research analysis done with, I think it's finally time to face one of the best players of the Strongest Battlegrounds. Let's see if this guy is actually one of the best like they say.
Let's do this.
After fighting Materia, I realize now that my skill has regressed. I will now dedicate myself to getting better throughout this series and win every fight. Comment down below who I should fight next.